Disconnected, out of rhythm. Didn't make pitches when I needed to. Kind of let it snowball me. Just wasn't able to make the adjustment today.
Are you able to take a look at it's opening day adrenaline and say, this won't?
She's not.
That won't be the case next time. Do you attribute anything to that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the ideal world. Of course, I would love that game back, but that's not reality. That's not how the world works. Just look to capitalize on the couple days off that I have here, get a good bullpen sesh, get back to who I am.
Do you chalk that up to anything? Just the disconnection? Anything specific that you can?
It's kind of hard to explain in the moment. I think it's just kind of something that happens. I'm human. I have errors and I make mistakes, and sometimes I just don't make the right adjustments at the right moments.
Nick, the fastball and curve, they're what get you through.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have those, when you're not, what is that like out there on the mound? What are you trying to do there?
I think for me, I'm just trying to get into a better rhythm, trying to get ahead of hitters. I still have really good elite pitches. It's just, when nothing's in the zone and you're behind guys, it's very difficult in the big leagues.
Are you at least happy with bouncing back in the second and just kind of giving yourself?
Sure, if you want to say that, but I didn't get the job done in the third, so, it's kind of one or the other wasn't there.
4 after the first inning. How difficult is that?
Continue to compete and make it quick.
That was obviously the goal today, right? That's your guys' strategy against him is aggressive.
Yeah, he's coming aggressive and he's the best of the game. So if he's gonna beat you, he's gonna beat you with the best thing he has. So yeah.
Not the result you wanted, but the home run. How did that feel just to get that out there?
It's good to especially get the first hit every year. Get the little whatever is on your shoulders and continue to play 161 games left. So
how do you balance that? There are 161 games left. There's also the excitement of opening day as a ball player. How do you balance that act?
How do I bounce off for today's game?
Yeah.
We have Framber Valdez tomorrow, and that's the focus.
Could you ask for a tougher test to start the season than the Tigers and the type of pitching staff they do have?
They have a really good team, good pitching, and we gotta. It's not gonna be easy, especially the first couple of weeks of the season.
Independent of the final score today, just you personally, what is now the feeling of getting that first one under your belt as manager?
Yeah. Humbling, I guess. Hope it goes well, but got off to a bad start. It's just a game of baseball, But it was a lot of fun for me to be in the dugout and lead the guys, and hopefully we'll get back after them tomorrow.
Specific to Pivetta's outing, what did you see from him that was giving him trouble early?
Probably just the opening day, overexcitement. First game back is always a tough one for every pitcher. And when you get tasked with pitching opening day for the first time, there's just a lot of emotions that go with it. It wasn't his best day today, but he'll be good for us the rest of the season.
How close were you to putting Kyle in the first?
Probably pretty close. We were trying to cap Nick at maybe 35 pitches in that first inning, so top of the order was coming back up with 3 out of 4 lefties, so Kyle was probably pretty close, kind of just to stop the bleeding there in the first inning, give us a chance for the rest of the game.
Not a whole lot, at least from the outside, of decision making in your first day, but you were able to put out your 4 relievers, and how pleased were you with them being able to close out the game the way they did?
Yeah, I think the hardest part about today, decision making, was who was going to pitch and how we're going to get through the game without pitching guys we wanted to save, and we ended up wanting to save Kyle Hart for tomorrow and the next day. Their lineup is predominantly left-handed, and we felt like if we saved him for the next 2 days, we had a better chance. We could be a little bit more aggressive with the bullpen if we had to be. We knew if Wandy just pitched 1 inning, he'd be good to go one of the next 2 days.
What do you think of Skubal today, and what do you kind of take from your offense when they're facing a guy that seems to be as lucky as he is?
Yeah, I think we had a game plan, and it was to be aggressive, clearly, and a good pitcher is gonna he's going to pitch the way he pitches, and we just had to figure out a way to get on the fastball. And he pitched good enough where his fastball is beating us a little bit, and then he has the nasty changeup that's kind of stifled the league for the last few years. But a great pitcher, a good test for us on opening day, and he proved who he was, and we got snuck one in there at the end against him. We battled the entire time. Proud of our hitters, just didn't go our way today.
What did you see in Xander's at bats against Skubal.
Yeah, very happy with how Xander looks right now. Carried on, what he looked like at the end of spring training, hitting line drives everywhere. Very excited about where Xander Bogaerts is and what kind of season he's going to have this year.